if reposted.
All right, Andrew Keller, today you are going to witness a fight. That's right, a fight. Let's get to it. The quote comes from James Clear in his book, Atomic Habits. Becoming the best version of yourself requires you to continuously edit your beliefs and to upgrade and expand your identity. If 20-year-old Larry heard 40-year-old Larry read that quote, he'd want to punch him in the face. 30-year-old Larry would want to slap 40-year-old Larry in the face. 40-year-old Larry completely agrees with this statement, Andrew Keller. You have to edit your beliefs and upgrade and expand your identity on a continuous basis.
Did you edit your belief on how old you are today?
Well, yeah, I sit in my 40s.
I agree with this. And my first thought was obviously like you always want to change your beliefs to be the better, but there's also, you can also double down. Like if you have a belief, if someone pushes back against it, explore it. And maybe you're going to like shore up why you think that way. Like it's not going both ways. I think I'm a better person for having changed ideas, but there are things that have been reinforced.
But I think when I read this sort of initially, I saw like the words belief and identity. And I think when you see that, you go like, no, those are things about yourself that don't change, that shouldn't change, that are the core of who you are.
And you think that's true?
No, I think that's what, like when you look at it at first, you say they shouldn't. But the world that I believe in, like the universe that I believe in, is an expanding universe and one that continually upgrades. Like, for instance, if animals, people didn't evolve, guess what happens? You die, you go away. Like, I think the system is set up for people to expand and edit their beliefs, always.
Yeah, I think nature's a great example of like the chameleon has to adapt to be able to blend into a scenery so it doesn't get eaten. And bees need to be able to adapt to have pollen stick to them. So yeah, I mean, you always are progressing, and I think that's good.
I think about people that I know that have not edited their beliefs, that have not expanded their identity, and it's the people that we've mentioned before that have the same friends, that live in the same spot, that go to the same church, that have the same job. They never let anybody in that has different ideas that can, by the way, I think different ideas are good because not always because you change your mind, but they refresh what you believe to begin with. Your identity becomes refreshed, and I think that's almost what he's saying here.
Do you think there's anything to be had in ignorance is bliss? Like I look back on Facebook and I see friends from high school who are still hanging out with the same people. I mean, they look happy. And are we maybe missing out on something?
We're definitely missing out on being ignorant, for sure. I wish I was a little bit ignorant. But just like the 20-year-old Larry that would punch 40-year-old Larry in the face for arguing this point, I don't want to go back and be a person who like holds on to the dogma of just like what I thought I should be, as opposed to experiencing life and now knowing it's way bigger than whatever I thought it was gonna be.
One of the things that James Clear has on his banner of his Twitter page, not one of, the quote he has from his book is, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And I think this quote that we have today is the foundation of that. Like your system to always be challenging what you think is going to help you rise to become a better person. Like have it be your default to question everything that you do to make sure that you're following your beliefs.
I don't necessarily want to name drop here, Andrew, but to illustrate a point, what you were talking about, I had a friend who worked at Apple and was on the executive team with Steve Jobs. And it didn't matter if your product was perfect or it needed work. He was always trying to poke holes into what you brought to that executive team meeting to see if you knew what you were talking about, if it was as best as it could be. And I feel like that's kind of the epitome of what you're saying there. Like getting a little pushback makes you refine and even defend to the point of, hey, it does work. What I have is what is working well.
Maybe you can help me out with this saying, iron sharpens steel. Is that what it is? Like the pushback makes you better. It's like if you're not going to sharpen your knife on a marshmallow, like if someone just gives in to whatever your thoughts are, you're not going to be better. And I saw a post today on Facebook that someone's like, I made a mistake 4 years ago in only being surrounded by the beliefs that I agree with. And I'm actively following people I disagree with. I'm reposting their thoughts to make sure that I understand other people's perspective. And that helps you either change your idea to become a better person or validate what you already think. Don't go in with a confirmation bias. Try to understand the 360 view.
And once again, just to illustrate that point, just think about the United States, right? At one point, we believed slavery was okay, that a human being was 3/5 of a person. We used to believe women couldn't vote. You could argue same-sex marriage. Barack Obama, president of the United States, once believed was against same-sex marriage, switched while he was in office and said, hey, I was wrong. Like I think that's the whole point. You can switch your identity. If you're a person in the system of the universe, it's constantly flowing.
I really like this, and I want to say thank you to James Clear for putting this quote out in the world. If you want to reach out to Larry and see who he's met and name drop, please reach out. You can find
Steve
us
Jobs.
at Reposted Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm Andrew Keller, who once met Tim Cook, and I don't remember his name. The Omaha guy.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett saying, wait, damn it. I'm Andrew Keller, who once met Tim Cook and Warren Buffett for the name drop. Thanks for stopping by.